Bandai presents.
What does Bandai present to us? It presents to us Gundam the Battle Master 2.
Gundam the Battle Master 2.
See? I told you. Here it is. I don't know if you can see, it might be a little too dark. Gundam the Battle Master 2, PlayStation 1 software. As you can see, 1998 by Bandai. This was, of course, the predecessor to Gundam the Battle Master 1, which was released in 1997. In the day, this game retailed for 6,800 Japanese yen. Yowza. Quite expensive. The game was received relatively well. I don't know exact sales, but enough to generate at least 2 other sequels for, I think, Game Boy Advance and something else. It also was released in the United States. Now, why did I buy this game? Simply because of the Cubide, the thing that you just saw right there. So, gameplay-wise, let's see. Let me get into the game itself. Obviously, story mode. You've got the option modes, which is difficulty level and versus mode, 2 players. Let's just do a quick look at the story mode. I chose this game simply because I could play Cubide. Now, the interesting thing about this game is that none of the characters are canon, which is to say they are, just created for this game and the previous game as well. We'll skip the story since it's about some amnesiac, I think. So here is the mobile suits that you can play. Queen Matha, of course. The full armor double Zeta Gundam. And I'm going to be the Cubide. The game is not quite as fast as you'd expect a Gundam fighter to be, but it does have a little bit of a cumbersome movement style, but I think that's more for the realism's sake. You move a little slowly, you've got some attacks that don't go quite as fast as you would like them to, but we'll take a look at the first stage, and you'll see what I mean. Let's just skip this, and pardon my clicks, and of course pardon my skill. Let's see. So as you can see, the game is based on 3 life bars, and also those yellow blocks that you see up there would be your ammo. So you have a grand total of 3 shots for your super attacks. I tried to get off 2 of those. You probably saw that they were countered. That proves my fighting game prowess is not exactly up to par. But regardless, I enjoyed this game. It certainly had a lot of the really super-powered mobile suits from various Universal Century mobile suits. An interesting thing, the final boss is the Hydra Gundam, and this is a manga from G-Unit, which is the name of the manga, and that is actually in the Gundam Wing universe. So while all of the mobile suits that you can choose would be Universal Century, as well as the larger sort of boss mobile suits, which include Nui Ziel and Big Zam, and I think Psycho Mark II or Mark III, I'm not sure, I can't remember. They're all Universal Century except for the Hydra, which kind of odd. And another interesting story about this game is that it came to the United States with a name change and a lineup change, not with the mobile suits, but with actually the characters. The lineup change actually ended up being a good idea. So for the States, they brought in, you know, the correct characters, or most of the correct characters for each of the mobile suits. For example, Haman would be piloting the Cubit A, and you know, Zakatu would be, I think his name is Denim or something, and Sasabi, of course, would be Shar, and so on. I don't know about the voice acting, if there was any at all. I never actually got the American version of this game, but I found that to be interesting because it certainly would have sold better than this version, I think. And I think at least the American audiences appreciated the fact that Bandai did that for them. And I don't quite understand why they never originally did it in the first place. Yeah, I'm not really paying attention to the game. But it's interesting that that would have been done. So I would recommend, if you can find it, the American version of this, which was, I think, called Gundam Battle Assault, but don't quote me on that. If you can find that, yeah, go for it. You get the original pilots. It doesn't do this weird after-war type of storyline, and you don't play against these random people. Yeah, give it a shot. It's a fun game, a little bit cumbersome, but the boss fights are cool. The bosses are so large they exceed the maximum amount of space from the screen, and you just see like legs and arms and stuff of that nature. So I would recommend it if you're into Gundam fighting games and you felt like playing some old school type of games. Give it a shot, and I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully there'll be more in the future. I'm not sure which I'll do next, but perhaps it'll be something PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.